When Dick Rath began his career in fire use, for him it was a natural fit. Watching fire and its role in the ecosystem for many years had developed his appreciation for fire's benefit. But as a wildland fire use team incident commander, Dick spent much of his time helping local unit administrators build confidence in their ability to manage fire as a useful event. Dick found that fire use often pushed people out of their comfort zones and into an area where they felt their roles were less defined. His user-friendly management style helped administrators make this transition. Dick Rath began working for the St. Joe National Forest when he was 19 years of age. He began as a district firefighter and moved to the Hotshot Fire Crew. In 1973, he was selected to be a smoke jumper at Missoula and then worked on the Kootenai Forest as an assistant fire management officer and fuels specialist. He moved to the Gallatin Forest where he worked as the zone fire management officer and then on to the regional office, where he worked for the Prescribed Fire, Fire Use, and Fuels program for the northern region of the Forest Service. He also served as an incident commander for one of the wildland fire use management teams.
Well, fire use always intrigued me, even as a hot shot and a smoke jumper, I often questioned why we were putting fires out in these higher elevations where fires needed to play its role, and the fire that we were putting out was actually an opportunity to allow that fire to play its role in the ecosystem. In 1988, I looked at the fires in Yellowstone Park and on the Custer Forest and on the Gallatin in the Absaroka-Beartooth Wilderness area, which surrounds the northern and eastern sides of the park. It became pretty evident to me that we spent an awful lot of money, but we really accomplished very little other than jeopardize firefighter safety. Mother Nature played its role and played its role very, very well. In fact, in some ways, the burns were too severe based on the fuel loadings in the H class. Fire use is for many folks is as a foreign entity. People really do not care within the system, have a hard time allowing fire to play its natural role. And there were other resource managers, and especially in wildlife, who felt that we were trying to burn too much. We had some retired district rangers who were not at all pleased with the amount of ground that we were burning. The thing that really made a difference to me, one of the things, is that several of the fire use events that occurred in the early 1990s, we put fire back into, and it was a cleansing fire, and it was really, really neat to see that. One of the first ones on dry lakes, the decision to allow the dry lake fire to burn was a huge amount of consternation between the resource staff and the fire staff. I think that was not clearly resolved. The reintroduction of the golden helix trout, I believe, was one of the first T&E species that was listed. Had I think literally $10 million had been placed into its reintroduction. And one of the ways we mitigated that was we put together a task force with a retired fire management officer named Jay Adams as a division supervisor, and a group of wildlife biologists, fisheries biologists, wildlife biologists from the state of New Mexico and from the Gila Forest. We went ahead of the fire and we actually shocked fish and brought in aerated paniards and flew the fish out. I believe, now this is 4 years ago, I believe I went to them and asked them what some mitigations would be. And we knew the fire was going to get there eventually. We did not know whether or not it would actually kill the fish. It wouldn't kill the fish because of the fire, but the sediment going into the pools would end up killing the fish eventually. Anyway, that project, the shocking and the transfer of the fish out of the wilderness area went well. Probably treating everybody well. Trying to treat everybody well, trying to listen to everybody, trying to let them be part of the operation. One of the things that one of the traits that I wanted with people that were not my team, our team, was that they had to be user-friendly and they had to be able to come in and adjust to the new situation and become part of their organization, not making them part of our organization. And we also then brought people from the Gila into our organization in training positions or just positions where they could be part of us. And we had pretty much there weren't any hidden agendas. Okay, what we do is if there was full disclosure on everything, so I didn't have to deal with any surprises. One of my few rules I had was I don't like surprises, and so they tried not to surprise me, and they didn't. I think in fire use, from my standpoint, leave a legacy of allowing fire to play its natural role on close to 200,000 acres the last year I worked is a big deal to me. Probably my observation over the last few years is that your job is going to get more complex. And bringing everybody home at the end of the shift is to me the foremost thing. My son is looking at a career in the Forest Service, and it bothers me some that risk that could be taken. On the flip side, I used to love taking risks, especially when I was younger as a smoke jumper and a hot shot, and and prescribed burning. But putting people in harm's way and keeping them out of harm's way is probably the most important thing. So, boy, if you can bring everybody home, I used to have a couple career goals. One was not to get fired, and then the other one was not to get anybody killed. After I got to be 50, I only had one. That was not to get anybody killed. And I found myself becoming extraordinarily cautious with everybody toward the end.
Dick Rath exemplifies user-friendly. He's a professional fire manager with a strong land ethic. He is committed to the goal of allowing fires to burn naturally in fire-dependent ecosystems and not to get anyone hurt as he manages these fires. Dick also has the ability to lace the seriousness and professionalism of his job as a wildland fire use IC with humor, creating in the process a work environment that is user-friendly. This is no small feat when one realizes that he is constantly dealing with fire management issues that push the edges of the comfort zones of both his team and the organization he works for. Take a moment to reflect on your style of leading. Can your style be described as user-friendly? Are there ways of improving the fire management environment you work in that would, like Dick Rath, balance both the seriousness of the mission with a user-friendly leadership style?